It's 2:30 in the morning. Your bedroom is dark, and the only light is coming from your phone, shining on your face. You have to go to work tomorrow, but you still haven't fallen asleep. Not because you're not tired, because of something that happened a few hours ago. Earlier today at work, your manager asked you to do something in front of a few people. You gave an answer. That's it. Nothing serious happened. Nobody yelled at you. Nobody got angry. Maybe nobody will even remember it tomorrow. But right now at 2:30 in the morning, you're replaying that exact moment in your head. Why did I say that? I should have said this instead. What if they think I'm incompetent? Why didn't I say something right then? You put your phone down, you close your eyes. 3 seconds later, the same scene comes back. It's like your brain has a replay button that's stuck. And this time, you add something new. What if they bring it up again tomorrow? Then you start thinking about tomorrow. Then next week. Then your job. Then your money. Then your future. And before you even realize it, a 5-minute event has turned into an hour of thinking. The problem is, you think you're trying to solve something. But what are you actually doing? Nothing. You're just living through the same moment over and over again from 10 different angles. That's what we call rumination. And if this happens to you a lot, the problem probably isn't that you think too much. The problem is that you haven't learned when a thought deserves your attention and when it's time to let it go. So let's start tonight. First, learn to tell the difference between thinking and rumination. Look, thinking isn't always a bad thing. Imagine you have a job interview tomorrow. You sit down and think about the questions they might ask. You look over your resume. You practice your answers. That's thinking, because eventually it leads to action. But if you spend 3 hours sitting there thinking, what if I mess up? What if they don't hire me? What if I don't get the job? What if I never find a good job? At that point, you're not solving the problem anymore. You're just turning the same fear into different questions. So the next time your mind gets stuck, ask yourself, am I reaching a new conclusion right now, or am I just repeating the same thought again? If it's the second one, you know you've entered the cycle. That simple act of noticing it is the first step. Don't fight the thought. You might be thinking, okay, I understand. I'm ruminating, so I just won't think about it anymore. And that's exactly where a new problem begins. Because the more you tell yourself, don't think about it, the more your brain brings that exact thought back. So you're not supposed to fight the thought. The thought shows up? Okay, let it show up. Just give it a name. I'm replaying what happened last night again. Or, I'm catastrophizing about the future. That's it. Don't argue with it. Don't try to force it out of your head. Just notice it. It's like seeing a car drive past you on the street. You notice it, but you don't chase after it. Thoughts work the same way. Not every thought that enters your mind deserves to be followed. Now ask yourself one important question. Let's say that same thought comes back. What if I embarrass myself at work tomorrow? This time, instead of wrestling with it for an hour, ask yourself one simple question. Is there anything I can actually do about this right now? If there is, do it. Maybe you can prepare a little more for tomorrow. Maybe you can think through what you want to say. Maybe you can send a respectful message. Then do it. But if your mind says, why did I say that 3 years ago? Well, there's nothing you can do about 3 years ago. You can learn something from it, but you can't go back and replay the past differently. That's where you need to draw a line. If it can be solved, take action. If it can't be solved, thinking about it longer won't change anything. That simple idea can shorten a lot of the nights you spend lying awake until morning. Stop putting yourself on trial. But there's another problem. You're not just replaying what happened, you're putting yourself on trial too. How could I be so stupid? I'm always like this. Why can't I be more like everyone else? I'm never going to get my life together. And one small mistake turns into a verdict about your entire personality. Maybe you messed up one job interview. You tell yourself, I'm just not a successful person. A relationship ends. You tell yourself, nobody will ever love me. You make one bad financial decision. You tell yourself, I'm terrible at managing money. This is where you have to stop yourself. There's a huge difference between these two sentences. I made a mistake and I am a mistake. The first one can teach you something. The second one only tears you down. So look at what happened. Figure out what went wrong. Figure out what you learned. Figure out what you'll do differently next time. And then close the case. You don't need to put yourself on trial every night. Give your mind a specific time to think. Another mistake is thinking you need to stop thinking altogether. You don't. Some problems really are important. Maybe you're worried about money. Maybe you're looking for a job. Maybe you have an important decision to make about your future. You can't solve those things by simply saying, whatever, I'll stop thinking about it. So try something simple. Give yourself a specific time to think about it. For example, 20 minutes at 7 p.m. If the thought comes back during the day, tell yourself, okay, I'll deal with this at 7. And when 7 o'clock comes, if it's still important, sit down and think it through. What's under your control? What can you actually do? What's the next step? Then stop. This way, thinking doesn't take over your entire day. You decide when to give it your attention. And now the most important part, sometimes the problem isn't just inside your head. Your entire lifestyle might be giving your mind too much space to ruminate. You stay up all night. You sleep until noon. You spend hours alone in your room. You have your phone in your hand most of the day. You barely move. You have a long list of things you keep putting off. And your mind almost never gets a break from thinking. So part of the solution is getting back into real life. Go outside, take a walk, work out, talk to someone you trust, clean your room, do that thing you've been putting off for days. Even when you're washing the dishes, you don't need your phone in your hand. Let yourself spend a few minutes simply being in the real world. Because the goal isn't to make your brain completely silent forever. Your brain is supposed to produce thoughts. That's what it does. The goal is to stop your thoughts from taking control of your life. A few weeks go by, the intrusive thoughts still show up. One night, you remember what you said at work that day. But this time, something is different. Before, one thought would show up and drag you around for 2 hours. Now you notice it. Oh, I'm getting stuck in that cycle again. You ask yourself, can I actually do something about this? If you can, you take action. If you can't, you let the thought pass. Maybe your mind will still feel busy on some nights. That's normal. You're not going to wake up one day and suddenly have zero worries. You're not supposed to empty your mind, and you're not going to stop having negative thoughts forever. You just need to learn one thing. You don't have to follow every thought that enters your mind. Some thoughts are problems. Solve them. Some thoughts are warnings. Pay attention to them. And some thoughts are just noise. Let them come. Notice them for a moment, and then let them go.